Good morning. I'm Art Jarvis, your interim superintendent of schools, and it is my pleasure today to have a conversation with Mr. Don Dixon. If you have never met Don Dixon, he is our Director of Transportation. Today I'm going to use the couple excuses that coming up is a day of celebration on February 22nd of National School Bus Driver Appreciation Day. And the entire month of February is one of Love the Bus Month. Don, take the lead for a second. In this few minutes we have together, what would you like to share with people more than anything else?
I think the thing I want to talk about is how our drivers take student safety as a priority. We want to ensure all students arrive to their destinations and the school safely. So that's number one for us. I think the second thing for us is and I say we, my department, my drivers, we want to share with the public that we greatly appreciate their patience as we go through this transition with, either delays in routes or closing of routes. We don't like to do closings, but we appreciate the patience that the parents and the general community have shown towards us.
As you mentioned student safety, have you ever calculated how many million miles your drivers drive every year and how safely?
Yes, in our district we drive pretty close to about 500,000 miles in a year. Our district isn't too big, but in those miles we transfer students to and from school, do trips, athletic trips, field trips, all that is included, and we do it safely. We have a very good mechanical staff, shop mechanics that keep our buses up in tip-top shape.
This year has faced the COVID world and the shortage of drivers. So let's concentrate on that for just a second. Okay. What's been the effect on the transportation, the school buses? Because a year and a half ago you weren't running at all.
That's right.
So talk to me a little bit about the staffing and how that's worked out.
Well, currently we are hiring, just to put that out there. We currently have 4 open positions. 4 open positions as 4 open routes. We are still short-staffed as far as office staff also, but my team makes it work. Our drivers chip in as much as we can, or as much as they can, to make sure everybody gets to school and everybody gets home safely.
I have to admit I was truly impressed in these last few weeks as you were short on drivers and had to make decisions cutting routes, which is almost unheard of in my long career. We haven't had to do that very often. But I didn't see you and the department just saying, okay, let's cut bus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got that sense as I watched you, how carefully you and your dispatchers and your staff work through what routes and how do we make this work for our families and kids and communications. Share a little bit more insight of what behind the scenes again on having to cut routes, which is something we just don't normally have to do.
That is right. We don't normally do it, and I can tell you, Dr. Jarvis, it is a very tough decision to do. But our process is first of all, we try to give parents as much notice as possible. We know that it affects the parents of the students that have to go to school. They have to try to find rides and stuff. So our goal is to try to get that information at least the day before. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen sometimes. We have drivers that call in that have COVID symptoms, which you tell them to stay home. And then we look at how we can cover the route for each driver that calls in. And sometimes, unfortunately, for those 3 days we did have to cancel, we just didn't have enough drivers to cover the routes. How we looked at the routes that we can cancel, we took a look at the whole routing system and we looked at what had the least impact on families. We looked at the student counts, and we looked at the schools. So we took all of those into consideration and developed a plan of the routes that we can cut or can close and have the least amount of impact on the community.
I noticed you snuck in earlier the commercial for come one and come all and help us drive. What does it actually take to qualify? I assume I can't just hop onto a bus and start driving a school bus. So if somebody out there is interested and wants to think about that, what do you need?
From an ordinary person off the street, you have to have a clean driving record. You have to have a clean background check because we do FBI fingerprinting. And then basically you have to get a physical, which we pay for. And then we can get you set up for training. Training is about 3 weeks. If you do not have a commercial driver's license, we also pay for that. We also do the testing, which we have off-site at another facility, not ours, but at another district facility. And once you get trained, we get you onto a route, and then you can become a great school bus driver.
So for me, an outsider who's driving into Bellevue, I don't know Bellevue as well as you have learned, but I guess just for the fun of it, talk about the toughest place in Bellevue to get a bus up and down.
Oh, I can tell you that we have two. We have Cherry Crest area is a pretty bad place, and Hilltop area is a bad place for buses, and especially in the wintertime.
Do you have those times where you have to eliminate certain runs and you can run the rest of the city, but you have to eliminate certain hills? Or?
Yes, we do. And during that time, we do limit transportation stops, and it should be posted online what our limited stops are. So if people have questions on what the route would look like, they can always go on the website and look.
I have never in my career seen the kind of challenges that have come your way in these last 2 years of literally shutting down the bus system, watching bus drivers who then were willing to deliver lunches to kids, watching individual situations and figure out how to make them work in spite of all the things in front of you. Don Dixon, you are, you may not consider yourself a saint, but I think you're definitely revered, and your whole department. On behalf of the school system, I get to say thank you. On behalf of the thousands of kids that you transport safely, it'll just be another day on the school bus, but you did it, and you did it beautifully. Well done, Don Dixon.
Well, thank you, Dr. Jarvis, but you know what? I can't take all the credit. All the credit goes out to my drivers. It is those drivers that are out there every single day dealing with road conditions, traffic, raining, and, sometimes snow. I give the credit to them because all the drivers that I have, I can tell you the first thing that they think about is student safety. They love their kids, and they love driving the school bus. It's a great opportunity for business owners looking for additional income, retirees who want to just have a part-time work, and even people who just want part-time work, like a stay-at-home mother that needs some additional income for the family. That's a good job opportunity for them as well. And students, we have some Bellevue College students that are part of our employee group. So it's just not one set of people, it's all over. People can just apply online, and we'll get them started.
Well, as we started, February 22nd is set aside as just one day to recognize those drivers you're talking about and express years and years of appreciation. But I would certainly encourage anybody interested to pick any day, but February 22nd has been actually set aside to help us celebrate drivers. And as far as Love the Bus Month, this is it. We're there. And Mr. Don Dixon, well done.